Hello and welcome to CGE Q&A Wednesdays. I am Sakina Bunch, your certified IIN holistic health coach and wellness advocate. And I'm so glad that you are watching here with me today. You know, in our blog, actually all month long, we've been talking about emotional intelligence. And one of the things that really has stuck out to me, especially just within the past couple of days, hey Nikki, how you doing, is kindness. You know, I think kindness is such a lost art form. It really honestly is. Yesterday I was at the post office and I had some pretty big boxes, right? And you're so beautiful too, Miss Nikki. Thank you. But I had some pretty big boxes and it was my daughter, she was helping me, and this guy, as we're going out the entrance, we're going out the exit. He is walking toward the entrance to leave, to get out. And he opens the door for a woman who has nothing in her hands and still continues to just walk out the door and says nothing to us, right? And we're sitting there struggling. Everybody can see us struggling, right? Finally, someone did come to help us. But I'm just like, wow, it's just something so simple as holding a door open for someone really makes the difference. As you see, I still recall that in my day. So just think about it this way, right? What if that scenario was different? What if he was the one that had those big boxes and I opened the door for him? One of two things could have happened, right? One, he could have walked right through the door and said nothing. And what would that have done? Probably burned me up, like, for real? Like, I just held the door open for you, you said nothing. But then what does that say about me? Was I holding the door open for praise, for applause, right? Or I could hold the door open and he say, thank you. And it's like, that just makes your day when you do something nice for someone, not necessarily doing it to get something in return, you know, but you're doing it because it's the right thing to do. You know, it's just the right thing to do. So I'm really into this kindness thing now, where I really want to do things for people where I'm not seeking anything in return. I guess maybe I am, because I just want to see joy on people's faces. This year, if there was going to be a year that sucked all the joy out of somebody's face, I would say within our generation's time, it would be this one. Hey, Jen, I miss you too. How are you? But yeah, I would definitely say this would be the year that just kind of sucked a lot of people's joy right out of them, right? So what can we do? Yeah, we're in the middle of a stinking pandemic. Yeah, we're in probably one of the worst, let me see this little fly. I can't see on these flies. Oh my gosh, like I open my door and it's like, woo, let's go in her house, fly. Anyway, yes, a little ADD there. But, you know, we're in a political climate that is horrendous. You know, we thought last election was horrendous. This one tops them all. And so we're in this funk of people just being upset, being angry, feeling lonely, feeling depressed. And what do hurt people do? Hurt people tend to hurt people, right? So what can we do? Even when we see someone like that gentleman who just did not want to hold the door open for us, what can we do, even for someone like him, to bring some joy to his day? Well, if you have been reading our blogs, Joy Sucking Fly, hope it doesn't land on your head. Thanks, Jen. Yeah, me too, because I don't want those memes. But yeah, you know, if you've been reading our blogs, we've been doing, like I said, emotional intelligence. And today's blog is all about kindness. Kindness, 3 simple steps to creating kindness. Yes, Nikki, we can still work to bring joy to others. And you know what? When you actually have joy within yourself, it's not work to bring joy to others, right? So I'm going to go over these 3 steps. And you can read them a little bit more in depth on the blog, sakinabunch.com/blog. But the first one is walk away from negativity. You know, when you see on Facebook how people will jump on a bandwagon, like You might not even be leaning that way, but somebody says something and you see everybody else jumping on the bandwagon and then you jump on it too. And it's like, why? If somebody doesn't like something, let it go, move on, keep it moving, right? You don't have to be insulting. I remember I posted something, it was on a news Facebook page, right? So it was a newscast Facebook page. And I think my opinion just was not popular at the time. And people became vicious. I mean, they called me all sorts of names, personal attacks on just a comment that was made. And it wasn't even a derogatory comment. It was just, like the sky is blue. We'll just say that's what it was. Like the sky is blue. No, the sky is not blue. It's chartreuse. Like, what? What? So if you get to the point where your news feed, whether it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever, is just negative, walk away from that. And if it gets so bad, you know what else you need to do? Delete. I am good for deleting people. I will. And I tell you at the beginning of the year, I will delete you if you are negative. Because negativity, it boosts cortisol. You know what cortisol does for you? Well, it does a lot of things for you, but the one thing that it can do is make you fat. That's right. Yes, it can make you fat. That's that fat hormone that likes to sit right around your belly. And the more negative you are, the higher that cortisol is in your body. But just think the flip side of that, when you have joy, right? That's oxytocin. That's like that feel good, ooh, hormone. And the more joy we feel, the more kindness we display, the easier it is for that hormone to be boosted in us. And when you do joyful things for people, guess what? You can't help but heap that joy on yourselves. Nikki says, I remind my kids to always be a blessing. Leave a home better than you find it. Yes, that is so true. When you arrive, be helpful without asking. Yes. Jen says, girl, I'm going to be joyful and skinny. That's right. Let's be joyful and skinny, okay? Or at least, if we can't be skinny, we can at least be joyful, right? We can be working on it. But yeah, so get away from the negativity. Delete the negativity off of your Facebook feeds, off of your LinkedIn feeds, any type of social media. If it's people that are in your life on a regular basis, hey, I don't know if you can delete them, because if they're living in your house, it's probably a little illegal to delete them. But there are things that you can do where you don't have to get sucked into people's negativity. I tell the people in my family, you got 2 minutes to gripe. That's it. 2 minutes to gripe. That's it. And your griping ceases after that, because then you're just complaining for no reason, right? 2 minutes to gripe, and then you find solutions to fix your problem. Simple as that. All right, so then the next one is be sincere. People can tell a fake a mile away. All right, so don't just be nice to people because you want something. This is so sad to say, but I remember last year when my husband was sick, people who had never spoken to us, okay, never spoken to us, all of a sudden are coming out of the woodworks. And I'm like, well, why is that? Maybe they're just trying to be nice. It wasn't that they were trying to be nice. They were trying to be nice so that other people could see them being nice and compliment them on how nice they were. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? My husband is dealing with, the fight of his life. Are you kidding me right now? You're trying to get, put the fame on yourself, I guess, so to speak, by doing this. And oh my gosh, people can smell a fake. Don't be fake. Be sincere. If you can't joyfully be sincere, then you need to do the next one, okay? Jennifer says, you are always my favorite. Oh, thank you. I love you too. I can't wait I want to hug you. Oh, okay, we'll talk offline. But if you can't be joyful and be sincere, then you need to do the next transformative act of kindness, which is be kind to yourself. Okay? You said, or be nosy. That's so true, Loretta. Yes, being nosy. That's exactly what it was. But anyway, be kind to yourself. Hurt people hurt people. So if you are hurt, sometimes it's really difficult to be joyful for someone else, right? If you have had such tragedy in your life, sometimes it's hard to be happy for someone else who is not experiencing a tragedy. That's when you got to dig deep and be kind to yourself. Now, what does that look like? It looks different for many people. For me, when I realized that I was just being, like you can be like that with your family. Just, you don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to be nice to anybody. You just want to go, I realized, okay, well, maybe I need to get by myself. Maybe I need to do some meditation. Heck, maybe I need to eat a whole cheese Danish. Sometimes, yes, I am a health coach and I do not think that that's the best of ideas, but sometimes, I'm just going to be real with you. Yeah. I go to the comfort foods sometimes. Don't stay in the comfort foods, okay? But sometimes you do. And so be kind to yourself by being patient with yourself, by giving yourself grace, by speaking to yourself in a manner that is uplifting. We talk about ourselves horribly. So it's no wonder it's so easy that you can talk about somebody on Facebook when you're hiding behind a screen. It's easy because you talk to yourself and treat yourself like a piece of crud, right? Yes, you just got to let go, definitely. So I challenge you, I truly challenge you to be, yes, girl, 80-20 with the food, 80-20. But yes, I challenge you, every single time you have a negative thought come into your head about yourself, I can't do this, I'm not smart enough to do this, or I can't run a Fortune 500 company because, I'm not that bright. Say to yourself, I am that smart to do that. I am that bright to do that. I am drawing people to me that will help me achieve that goal. And as I'm achieving that goal, I'm helping them achieve their goals. Y'all got to talk to yourselves differently. Because all of this negative talk, as Jen says, just making you fat. But it's true. All of that negative talk, not only is it putting weight on you, not only is it making you even more unhappy, but guess what? It's aging you too. When you speak negatively, it ages you. When you speak positively and you are joyful, guess what? It puts more years on your life, but makes you look younger. Girl, if I told anybody I was 83, they wouldn't believe me. I'm just kidding. I'm not 83, but I went to the gym the other day, and the guy that was there, he had asked me how old I was. Okay, like, dude, you don't ask a woman how old she is, right? But I was like, whatever. So I told him. And he was like, for real? And that actually made me feel good because I could tell he was being sincere, that he really didn't think that I was the age that I am. I said, oh yes, I have adult children. Very, very adult children. But that made my day. Okay, so I truly challenge you to do something kind for yourself and to do something kind for someone else. Because not only is it going to bless them, it's going to bless you. So I'm going to tell you a story and then I'll be done. In the midst of this pandemic, we have to make appointments now to go to the DMV. And for y'all who are not from up north, DMV is the Department of Motor Vehicles. I think y'all call it the Motor Vehicle Department down here or whatever y'all call it. Anyway, the place where you got to go to get your license and your registration. So I had to make an appointment. But this particular day, the line was wrapped around the corner, right? It was wrapped around the building. And I was talking to this guy. Of course, we were socially distanced, 6 feet away. And at the corner of my eye, I noticed there was this elderly woman, and she was walking with a cane, very slowly. And she was standing in the back of the line. And I said, I told her, I was like, yeah, you need to come up to at least where I was standing, right? She was very frail. And I said to her, where I'm standing in front of me, that's your spot in line. But I want you to go sit on these chairs and you stay there until it's your turn to go up front. And she was so grateful because the line was long. And I actually stayed there. Once I finished what I had to do, I stayed there to make sure she was okay. And she looked at me with all sincerity in her face and she said, I don't know where I parked my car. And I said, well, we're gonna go find your car. So I put her in my car and we drove around for about 5 minutes looking for her car, right? We find her car, she gets out, she gets into it, and then I'm driving home now. And I'm getting out the car and I realized, oh my goodness, she left all of her important papers in my car. To include her license, which I'm pretty sure, she kind of needed as she was driving. So I look at her license, look at the address, and I go to the address to deliver her stuff. And guess what? She wasn't there. And I didn't want to just leave it there. So I left a message on the door for her to call me. Well, anyway, make a long story short. We finally met up and I gave her back her stuff, right? She was so appreciative. But here's the deal. I didn't tell you that story because, oh, I'm so great. No, because I don't do that all the time, okay? So I'm not telling you that story for that. I'm telling you that story because that day, that woman blessed me more than she could ever know. During that 5-minute drive looking for her car, she was telling me stories about her life. That woman was amazing, okay? Her name was Ernestine. I'm gonna tell you, her name was Ernestine. And Ernestine blessed me that day because she told me stories that were uplifting, stories that were positive. She was an awesome lady. And I would have missed out on all of that had I not said, hey, why don't you come up here in line? Or, hey, I'll take you to your car. So I tell you that story because I want you to know that when you take it upon yourself to first be kind to yourself, okay? And then that kindness kind of overflows. And then now you're kind to other people. You reap the benefits of that. I was listening to someone and they said, kindness is the most selfless, selfish act you can do. And it's true. It's the most selfless, selfish act you can do. So be selflessly selfish today. All right, well, that's all I got for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, check out the blog, sakinabunch.com/blog. Thanks. Bye-bye.